Hi, my name is Caitlin Kelly, and I perform Libby Rhodes in the Atlas 6 by Olivia Blake. And in true Libby Rhodes fashion, I have tried to record this video about 50 times. So let's see if we get it right this time. The day Libby Rhodes met Nicolas Ferrer de Varona was coincidentally also the day she discovered that incensed, a word she had previously had no use for, was now the only conceivable way to describe the sensation of being near him. That had been the day Libby accidentally set fire to the lining of several centuries-old drapes in the office of Professor Breckenridge, Dean of Students, clinching both Libby's admission to New York University of Magical Arts and her undying hatred for Nico in a single incident. All the day since that one had been a futile exercise in restraint. Incandescence aside, this was to be a very different sort of day. It was finally going to be the last of them. Barring any accidental encounters, which Libby was certain they'd both furiously ignore. Manhattan was a big place after all, with plenty of people ravenously avoiding each other. She and Nico were finally going their separate ways, and she would never have to work with Nico de Varona again. She'd practically burst into song over it. That morning, which her boyfriend, Ezra, presumed to be the consequence of the occasion's more immediate matters. Either graduating top of her class, tied with Nico, but there was no use focusing on that, or delivering the Naima valedictory speech. Neither accolade was anything to scoff at, obviously, but the more enticing prospect was the newness of the era approaching. It was the last day Libby Rhodes would ever set eyes on Nico de Varona, and she couldn't have been more exuberant about the dawn of a simpler, superior, less Nico-infested life. Rhodes, Nico acknowledged upon taking his seat beside her on the commencement stage. He slid her surname around like a marble on his tongue before sniffing the air, facetious as always. For some, his sun-kissed dimples and charmingly imperfect nose, broken just so, were enough to make up for his unremarkable height and countless personality flaws. For Libby, Nico de Varona was just good genetics and more confidence than any human man deserved. Odd. Do you smell smoke, Rhodes? Very funny. Hilarious. Careful, Verona. You know this auditorium's on a fault line, don't you? Of course. Have to. Seeing as I'll be working on it next year, won't I? He mused. Pity you didn't get that fellowship, by the way. Since the comment was clearly designed to annoy her, Libby made the exemplary decision to peer into the crowd in lieu of answering. The auditorium was fuller than she'd ever seen it, the vista of graduates and their families stretching up to the balcony seats and frothing out into the vestibule. Even from a distance, Libby could spot her father's one good blazer, which he'd purchased at least 2 decades ago for a wedding and worn to every mild to moderately formal occasion since. He and Libby's mother were in a middle row, just a few seats off center, and Libby felt a moment of uncontainable fondness at the sight of them. She'd told them not to bother coming, of course, inconvenience and whatnot. But her father was here, wearing the blazer. Her mother had put on lipstick, and I guess we'll end it there. Thank you.